Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Wednesday, December 5th, and we are talking bowl games, early bowl games right now with Ian Cameron and Joe Gavazzi. Joe Gavazzi's website, of course, is joegavazzisports.com. The first game we're going to talk about right now with Ian and Joe is the Camellia Bowl in Alabama. It's Georgia Southern against Eastern Michigan. Now, Eastern Michigan was a very impressive team this year, right? They played a lot closer to teams that they were underdogs against than the market was giving them credit for. They did very well against the spread in the first, 3/4 of the season, through 2/3 of the season or so. Then they did lose 3 out of their last 4 games against the spread, including one game against Army where they did not handle the triple option well. And now they're going to be going up against a very, very capable option offense in Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern has been a good bet all season long. You might think that Georgia Southern would be, a touchdown, maybe 3.5-point favorite here. I was a little bit surprised by this line. It's actually close to Pick'em. You can get Georgia Southern at Pick'em right now. First glance, I'm thinking, both these teams defend well. Eastern Michigan, not a team I'm too excited to bet against, but they have already struggled once against an option offense this year. And at Pick'em, maybe Georgia Southern is the play. Let's start with you, Ian Cameron. What do you think, Georgia Southern?
It's a fascinating game because you've got Georgia Southern, and this triple option offense has been terrific for them all season long. There's no question about that. Shea Wirtz has led this offense extremely well with a lot of success. And Eastern Michigan is obviously, what's their defensive struggle been this season? It's been against the run. Stopping the run has been a clear problem for them all season long. Now, you could look at it this way. You could look at it, okay, we faced Army this season. We didn't do well against the triple option. That's a sign of things to come potentially here against this Georgia Southern triple option attack, which has put up points and moved the ball all season. Another way you could look at this thing is, well, we've seen it already. We can make adjustments. We can be better prepared for what we're going to face this time around here in the Camellia Bowl against Georgia Southern. Maybe give ourselves a better chance to defend it this time around. So that's a very interesting thing I'm going to be looking at reading into here. Is Chris Creighton, the head coach of this Eastern Michigan team, done anything to make sure this team's better prepared for the triple option? I'm going to guess they're still going to struggle to stop it because the run defense has been bad all season long. And on the flip side, the pass defense, when you look at it for Georgia Southern, it's not been great, but not going to be tested here quite as much. The quarterback for Eastern Michigan hasn't been great. He's been up and down, first-year starter. Has had some good games, had some bad games for this team. From a motivation standpoint, again, that's a key thing in the bowl games, Pete. I think it's going to be even. I think you got two teams that are going to be excited to be here. Eastern Michigan, remember, this program was a doormat before Chris Creighton arrived, and now they've been to multiple bowl games since he's been there. But from a fundamental matchup standpoint, I got a hard time believing Eastern Michigan's going to be any more prepared to stop this triple option than they were the first time when they played Army earlier this season, where they struggled. So I'm going to lean early on. With this bowl game still a little ways away, I'm still going to lean early on here to Georgia Southern -1.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking as well. Eastern Michigan, obviously a program on the rise. They did get their win against Purdue. They got, a couple of wins at the end of this season. I'm with you, Ian Cameron. I'm thinking that, maybe they don't get blown out as badly as they did against Army. But again, Georgia Southern just has to win the game to cash a bet. Joe Gavazzi, what do you think? Is this a no-brainer play? Eastern Michigan already struggled against Army. They're going up against a quality option offense here. The line is suspiciously low. Take Georgia Southern here. And why do you think this line isn't a little bit higher in favor of Georgia Southern?
Well, I'm going to quantify exactly what you guys said with some numbers.
Nice.
Anybody who follows my point spread prognosis each and every week, and in particularly the keep on tracking section, knows that any team who double rushes their opponent this millennium has been a 75% point spread play. Now that's held up this year. The numbers 249 and 77 against the spread, 76%. And a quick look at these teams at the point of attack tells you all you need to know about the things you guys have been talking about. Eastern Michigan Overland is outrushed 193-148, meaning they put the ball in the air quite a bit. And when they put the ball in the air, as we know, 2 things happen. 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Well, against the Army game, against that Army option, to quantify what you guys were saying, Ian, outrushed 289-34 in that game. 15-point loss to Army. Really didn't have a chance to stop that option the whole game. You're right, it would be tough for them to make such a quick changeover, being able to stop the option today. Georgia Southern, quality program for 30 years, even before moving up to D1. Had quite a few championships at that lower rank. outrushing opponents 261 to 144 this year. I tell you, you've got a scoop. If in this battle of eagles, Georgia Southern does not outrush Eastern 2-1, giving them a 75% chance to beat the spread, I'll make it a little stronger play on Georgia Southern.
All right, sounds good. So, Joe Gavazzi leaning Georgia Southern here. And any thoughts, Joe, on, in light of everything you just said, why this line is where it is? And we're not seeing at least 2.5 for Georgia Southern, if not 3 or 3.5.
Well, I believe that there quite simply is value in this line for us. It's best not to overthink it. If you get the value in a game, you hop on it.
There you go. Great answer, Joe Gavazzi. Sometimes that is absolutely the right answer. Sometimes the answer is just, yeah, the market's a little off. All right, I'm going to add this onto my official record in the shows that I do, in the Low Shack and the Bag shows. I will take Georgia Southern. It feels like a little bit of a trap because everyone and your mom is going to see the game against Eastern Michigan against Army and say Georgia Southern's the play here. Right, Ian Cameron? I mean, is this a everyone and their mom type situation where anyone who's looking at this game, looking to bet it, is going to go on Georgia Southern?
Yeah, there's going to be some games in the bowl season where a lot of people are going to like the same side, and they're going to like it for different reasons. Matchup edges, motivational edges. One team's happy to be at that bowl game. The other team's not. One team's got cohesion with their coaching staff. One team is seeing their head coach go out the door and go somewhere else. There's going to be instances in bowl season where there's obvious bet on and bet against teams and bet on and bet against situations. I don't concern myself with who person A likes, person B likes. I'm concerned with who Ian Cameron likes and who Ian Cameron, after his research, gets likes from a side and total perspective. And if it lines up with the majority, so be it. In a perfect world, I prefer not to be just lined up with 99% of the rest of the betting public, but sometimes there's going to be instances where it makes sense to be in that camp, given the situation with that particular bowl game.
All right, I have to decide what Peter Loshak likes, and I actually have made a decision on what Peter Loshak is going to do here. I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to make this an official play. If Georgia Southern takes sharp action, they'll probably get up to 1.5 or 2, and that will be okay. But it's okay taking it. I don't mind. I'd like to wait for that information before I pull the trigger. And if I have to take 1.5 or 2 when I could have gotten pick 'em right now, that'll be okay. If it moves in the other direction, if Eastern Michigan becomes a favorite, even a 1-point favorite, a 1.5-point favorite, I think that will be very telling. So officially, Peter Loshak is going to hold off. Ian Cameron and Joe Gavazzi, thanks so much for your breakdown of the Camellia Bowl.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.